Christianity, like Christ's banging on about, if that's not a disrespectful thing to say about Jesus, about hanging with the poor and hanging with the lepers,
Yes.
it's not like because it's, you know, you're trying to get a gold star. It's because like when you do that stuff, like you helping them nuns or whatever, you start to get like a rush of, oh my God, this is brilliant.
Yes.
Like I hang around them homeless people,
Yes.
I'm troubling them almost. A lot of the time they ask me to leave first. Go on, that's enough now. No, come on.
But see, this is what I mean by a positive addiction in a different way. I love your definition. I think that definition is spot on. So I need to come up with better language myself.
In my lexicon, that would no longer qualify as addiction because it's become devotion. Now, like earlier.
Oh, I like that. That's
like,
beautiful. That's what I was looking for. You just helped me with that because I've used it as a transition to say you could trade this thing that's harming you for this thing that's great. You don't have to give up. Because if somebody stops, let's use a simple one. Somebody stops smoking. Smoking meets a lot of needs. Certainty, you can be comfortable, you're stressed out. You smoke a cigarette, what do? Take a nice deep breath. When people are stressed, they hold their breath, they breathe shallow. You blow out a long time, right? So you balance it. You're killing yourself, but you're meeting a need. You get variety, it changes your state to smoke a cigarette. For some people, it's a connection with themselves, right? I'm giving myself something in this stressed out life of mine. And in the old days, it was significance. Like, fuck you, I'll smoke. If I want to smoke, you can't tell me what to do. I'm gonna live to be a million, it doesn't matter. So you can meet all those low basic needs through the addiction. So if somebody stops smoking, like in my country, there used to be a place called Schick Center, and it was very famous when I was a child. I remember because I watched the commercials all the time. And they guaranteed to get you off of cigarettes or your money back, and it worked. You know what they did? They put electrodes right here on your neck on both sides, on your temples, and then you pulled out a cigarette and they shocked the F out of you, and they did it over and over again. No one smoked anymore. But they went out of business because people started eating. Because eating meets the same needs. It's just as convenient. I can instantly get comfortable, certainty. I get pleasure, variety. I can feel a connection like I'm giving myself something. I can eat with other people and be connected. And I can even be significant. I don't need to have all four, I only need three. I can go, wow, I don't eat that trough over there. I eat these special truffles. I eat the special, drink the special wine, that type of thing. So the element that I'm trying to move towards and seeing if it has any truth in you is there a way for us to start to see like you have a devotion, I'm looking for the word, and I think you just gave it to me. You have not an addiction, you have a connection to your devotion to something larger than yourself. Is that a way of articulating it?
Yes.
What's a better way? Because you're more poetic than I am.
They say only the really sick people become monks. You know, like you've got to be a real up in order to go, right, I got no choice.
You just insulted every monk in the world, but that's okay. I get it.
But the meaning is that, you know, that this world is tempting. You know, like I sort of reiterate in the book, Tony, is that I'm very keen to say that I don't come from a place of moral certainty or certainly not
judgment.
Superiority.
Yeah.
No, it's because if I start getting involved in the world of sexuality, like I don't know when I'm coming back. If I start taking drugs, I don't know when I'm going to stop. If I start trying to feed my ego, looking at Twitter, any of those things, it's hungry. It's hungry, that thing in me. Yeah. So, but the interesting thing that I have observed now, having been both sides of addiction, and please God I stay this side, is that the imperative, the yearning, this is the yearning to be at one.
Yes.
That's what it's telling you. It's calling you home. That's what it always wanted.
Yes.
So, and you kept giving it like little piecemeal distractions, putting it off. But really what it wants is it wants God. It needs God. That there is a spiritual component to our life. And this is the problem that is most evident in the way that we live now, is it tells you, no, you're just an individual. You die and then there's nothing else. You better look after yourself because no one else is going to look after you.
So life has no meaning when it's only about me. The me song is the most boring song in the world. If life's about we, and you're experiencing that now. So what have you traded your addiction for? I've
traded it for recovery. I've traded it for recovery. What has happened to me?
Which is constant growth within you, it sounds like now. Constantly finding the way to awaken the parts of you that have always been there, the parts of you that are the highest, the parts of you that are at one.
Yeah, and curiously, it's like I started to do jiu-jitsu, and what I learned from jiu-jitsu is I'm at jiu-jitsu. But jiu-jitsu works. If you learn the jiu-jitsu, it will work. And they say you all
get it. You gotta do it long enough and consistent enough with a great enough coach, right?
Don't stop before the black belt. And the same with God. Like, you need it. You'll get there. You definitely will get there, but just don't stop. So for me, like the thing I feel is I don't feel like I have no solutions. I just look for better mentors. That's what I'll be doing, and like just carrying on with it. So, and like, make it like now, I'd come into this, I was a junkie. I couldn't pay my rent. I didn't have nothing.
Yes.
Now I'm able in a position where I can look after my family. My wife, if you say, what's your husband like? She'd go, he's decent, good man. He's caring, he's loving.
Yes.
I'm present for my daughter. But I know, that these things, I got to be very, very observant and diligent and humble, because there's a maniac in me waiting for his opportunity.
Isn't there a maniac in everyone?
I suppose there is.
They just come in different forms, right?
Yes,
some maniacs have a little more control of themselves because they were conditioned so. Some people are more free spirits, right? We're all have different patterns of how our personality shows up, but the spirit is still fundamentally the same.
I think your diagnostic system is a good one, and I think I probably it's weird because I would have thought that I like variety, but addiction is about certainty. You do this, you feel that.
Yes.
I like that. I think
But the variety is a different state than what you were in.
Yes,
so anything is different is variety, right?
Yes, it's oddly paradoxical, I suppose. But one of the things I'm learning as I get older, very, very slowly, I'm a slow learner, is that many of the things that I would have, I kind of avoided. I thought for me, hedonism was the path, decadence, glory, superficial, fleeting glory. Yeah. I'm happy now when I'm at my house, picking up dog shit off the lawn, looking after my little daughter, things that are grounded, the earth, the soil. In our country, we say the third cable, the earth cable, the one that takes you to the earth, not just the positive and the negative, but the one that is grounded, the one that is beyond it.
Yes. I want to come back one step because of what you just said, because people hearing you now, there's quite a spiritual component there. You've said God about 20 times here.
Oh, yes.
When you began, if someone said to you, you got to give it, you don't have control and you need to give this up to a higher power, what was your mindset then, just so people have perspective, and how have you evolved in your beliefs about God or spirituality?
Well, I would have said that, at that point, I would have said that God is about people being able to manipulate one another. I would have said
that was what God was about.
Yeah, I didn't think that God was a real thing.
Because you saw structures of people utilizing God to meet their own needs, or manipulating others, and so that became what the whole thing was about.
So that was one problem, because I'm like systems of control, whether they are political or religious, I'm not into that, because that's sort of not about freedom. And also the other thing is I'm a product of my time. I'm born in the mid-70s, grew up in the 80s, listening to Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn tapes in my dad's car. And that was about sort of self-realization.
Yes.
Now, there is no such thing as self-realization without some kind of sublime or divine connection, but my original idea was like that, all that, and I didn't realize that, oddly, curiously, it's in me deep, and I think it's probably in all of us deep, that we must help one another, we must be connected. Now that's like, if you I'm not like that all of the time. Sometimes I'm the guy that wants to get out of the car on the bridge, absolute selfishness, self-obsession, no perspective, no awareness.
Everyone is when that 2 million year old brain takes over. It's really managing the 2 million year old brain and making sure your higher self is the one running the show, right?
Right, this operating system, it's been able to navigate our way